Hello there, my name is Glynnie Walford and I am CEO of Martin Collins USA, Martin Collins Equine Surfaces, and today we are going to be showing you a CLOPF fiber and sand installation. It's going to take you right the way from the base through to the finished product, and we're working with one of our approved contractors, Austin Wood, and Austin will be giving an insight into the base construction. He'll also be talking about the different sands and the fiber, and he'll then follow on with surface care following installation.
My name's Austin Wood. I own Diamond W Contracting, and we specialize in building horse arenas. We're at Mindy Taylor's facility in Brooksville, Florida, where we're doing an install for Martin Collins. A lot of times I get asked the question, what is the importance of the base? The base is very crucial. It is where we start out building the arenas so that they actually support the footing. A lot of times people will get other contractors to build a base, and we come in and install the footing on top. It's very important that the base is constructed out of the correct materials and is compacted correctly so that it can support the footing. If it's not, the whole surface has to be lifted off to repair the base, and then the new surface has to be put down on top of the base after it is corrected. And it costs much more to come in and do it after the fact rather than having it installed correctly the first time.
For the purposes of this DVD, you will see that we are actually working in an indoor arena. However, the base for an indoor arena is going to be somewhat different than that you would install for an outdoor arena, and Austin will touch on both of those types of installation for you.
A lot of times I get the question, what is the difference between an indoor and outdoor arena of how it is constructed? An indoor arena we build flat and don't put any subsurface drainage in.
For an outdoor arena, we again lay a level base with subsurface drainage this water away. We angle the drains to the outfalls at the lowest point of the arena.
We've already got the sand installed and got it compacted and watered. And the first thing we want to do is make sure that we have a uniform depth of sand all the way across the arena. So what we've done is dug down to the base and we're just going to measure, and we have 4 inches of compacted sand. You always want to make sure when you're measuring the sand that it has been watered and compacted so you have a uniform surface to measure off of. When we're choosing a sand, we want to make sure that the sand is a subangular sand, which means it has different size particles, and we want to make sure that it has good binding ability to bind with the fiber. So we'll start putting in the fiber. We know what the weight is of the bales that we're putting in, and we've already done the ratio. We're putting in a 0.75 ratio of fiber into the sand, and we will spread all the fiber and make sure we have a uniform coverage over the arena with the fiber. There are different ways of spreading the fiber. You can spread it by hand, but we are actually going to be using a machine today to spread the fiber. Okay, so we've gotten half the CLOPF fiber installed. We're in the process of watering it right now. Once we get it watered, we're going to compact it. The reason we put half the fiber in right now is so that we can actually mix it to the correct depth of 3 inches down, and then we'll put the remaining amount of the fiber on top. We want to make sure that as we're irrigating it that it's good and moist. That's a key part of getting it to blend correctly. And then we will take a vibratory roller and compact it over the top before we blend it. As you can see, we have a very uniform coverage over it. That's very important. Breaking up any big clumps that the spreader doesn't get, we need to go ahead and get it broken up just so that it's evenly distributed out. All right, we've put out our final application of fiber, and we're in the process of rolling it right now. We've already wet it. When you're rolling it, you want to go at a slow walking pace and use a roller that's no less, a minimum of 4 feet wide. That way you get good coverage. And want to make sure that we rake the edges because we're not going to be able to till right up against the edge. So we want to make sure we pull the fiber back just a little bit so that it gets blended. So we have all our fiber out and spread, and we've watered it and we have it compacted, and now we're going to start blending it. There's several different ways to blend it. You can use a conventional tiller, but the best way is using a reverse tine tiller. You want to go at a very slow walking pace with the RPMs high on the tractor, so you have a high tine speed tip to get the correct blending, and you want to blend it to a depth of 3 inches. So we have everything blended, we have all the fiber blended in, and we have it compacted. We used a Bomag vibratory roller, and while we were compacting it, we split each pass with half the drum. You want to use a minimum 4 foot wide drum. The one we had was 6 foot wide, but you just want to make sure you go at a very slow walking pace as you're compacting it.
When installing the CLOPF fiber, one has to take into account the type of discipline, whether it's dressage or whether it's jumping or polo or therapeutic riding, because this particular product is good for a variety of disciplines. Unfortunately, the only one where it cannot be used is in the Western fraternity because there's no slidability to it. This is a product that is designed to support the horse, and the percentages of CLOPF fiber that go into these different installations do vary from discipline to discipline. But again, every case is individual, and we try and work with the client to ensure that they get the right amount of CLOPF fiber for their particular use.
We got the CLOPF fiber installed, and now we're going to groom it. This ratchet right here actually lifts the tines up and down, and we just want to be grooming the top surface. We don't want to actually go down into the footing. Now, the first pass I make across is going to be a little bit deeper, but when you're grooming it, you just want basically these tines here covering the hoof prints in. You don't want to be going more than about a half an inch, quarter of an inch deep with the front tines here. That you can actually unlock it to where it up and pivots behind the tractor, so that when you're turning, it's not swinging around into the corners. Okay. When you're setting it up and hooking it up on the top link, you just want the top link to be loose so that there's equal pressure on the front and back roller. So if it were tighter going back, that means you're putting a lot of back pressure on the back roller. You want to have equal pressure on the front and back roller.
We'd like to thank you very much indeed for taking the time to watch this DVD. We hope you have found it informative and helpful, but we would also like to say please do not hesitate to contact us should you have any questions or particular points that you would like to discuss further. We'd like to thank Mindy Taylor for allowing us to come to her lovely facility and film the DVD, and to Austin for all his time, and to Equestrian, who have been terrific in putting this DVD together for you. So thank you very much indeed, and we hope to see you some way down the road.